West.
There were 8 men wanted for writing bad checks to cattle auction houses in central Missouri. All have disappeared from the area without a trace.
So I hope they keep her till she croaks. Don't have any feelings for people like that at all.
Of the 8 men on the Copeland's list, Thomas Park, Franklin Hudson, and Dale Brake are still missing.
Hey guys, it's Lavender here. Welcome back to my channel. It's Lavender here, and today I want to talk about the serial killers Ray Copeland and Faye Coepland true crime case. They were both serial killers, so let's get started. Here we go. So here's just some background on the whole situation of the serial killer situation. Ray Copeland, he was born on December 30th, 1914, and he died October 19, 1993, and his wife Faye Della Wilson Copeland, she was born August 4th, 1921, and she died in December 23rd, 2003. They, at the ages of 69, Faye Coepland, and 76, Ray Copeland, became the oldest couple ever sentenced to death in the United States and put on death row. They were convicted of killing 5 drifters and homeless people at their farm in Mooresville, Missouri. The case was documented in multiple television series, investigation shows, such as Forensic Files, Wicked Attraction, and The New Detectives. Ray Copeland was born in Oklahoma in 1914. While he was growing up, his family moved around struggling to survive during the Great Depression. He began a life of petty crime his entire life, usually stealing livestock and forging checks, and he'd always get caught doing it until he was caught red-handed and served a year in jail. And then throughout his entire life this happened. He would get caught with bad checks and thrown back in jail. After his release in 1940, he met his wife, soon-to-be wife, Faye Wilson, and they were married soon afterward. They quickly had several children. During this time, Ray served several more jail sentences for fraud and bad checks until he finally came up with a plan to improve his illegal money-making scam methods so he wouldn't be detected. He began to pick up drifters and homeless people and employ them as farmhands on his property in Mooresville, Missouri. He would take his employees where they would use his bad checks to buy the cattle for him, since he was unable to buy the cattle himself because he's a known fraud and scammer. After the transactions, Ray would sell the cattle quickly, and the drifters/homeless people would disappear without a trace. And he wouldn't kill them. He tried doing this without killing them, but it didn't work. See, for a while the scam worked, but the police caught up to Ray, and once again he was sent to jail for the scams. So he decided to take a direct approach and get rid of the problem. Upon his release, he resumed his criminal activities, but this time he made sure his helpers were not as connected to him as before. This went on until a previous employee, Jack McCormick, sounded the alarm about the Copelands. McCormick claimed that Ray had tried to kill him. Police were initially skeptical of the claims, but after checking Ray's criminal record and criminal history, they decided to investigate further. On October 1989, they visited the Copeland farm armed with a search warrant and search dogs. Initially, they did not find any incriminating evidence on the property, but after further searching around the property, the bodies of 3 young men were discovered in a nearby barn. Initially, they did not find... as the search continued, more bodies were found, all killed with the same weapon, a .22 caliber Martin rifle that was later found in the Copeland home. And these are what the victims' name are and where they're from and when they died, at least the ones that are confirmed. And there's still some that are missing. Dennis K. Murphy of Normal, Illinois, killed October 17, 1986. Wayne Warner of Bloomington, Illinois, killed November 19, 1986. Jimmy Dale Harvey, 27, of Springfield, Missouri, killed October 25, 1988. John W. Freeman, 27, of Bournesville, Indiana, killed December 8, 1988. Paul J. Cowart, 21, of Darndale, Arkansas, killed May 1, 1989. Faye's actions were questioned after the crime was discovered, and a note Faye had written a list of names that included the murdered drifters. Each of them had an X next to his name, as did 7 others who remain missing to this day. When she went to trial in November 1990, her defense mounted a picture of her as an abused wife who was beaten by her husband, battered wife syndrome. However, the jury convicted her of 4 counts of murder. She was given 4 death sentences for the murders. On March 1991, Ray went on trial. Ray attempted an insanity plea. Ray first tried to plead insanity, but he knew that wasn't going to work, so he tried to scam his way into getting a plea agreement with authorities. The authorities were not willing to go along with it, and they did not buy it, and he was convicted of 5 counts of murder and sentenced to death. Upon hearing that his wife, Faye, had been sentenced to death by lethal injection as well, Ray showed no emotion. As the psychopath and sociopath that he is, replied, "Well, those things happen to some, you know." That's his quote. That was a quote of his. Ray died of natural causes on October 19, 1993. Faye's attorneys appealed her convictions, and on August 6, 1999, a judge overturned the death sentence, but let the conviction stand and upheld her convictions, but commuted her death sentence to a life sentence to 5 consecutive terms of life without parole. On August 10, 2002, Faye suffered a stroke that left her partially paralyzed and unable to speak. Sometime later, weeks later, in September 2002, Governor Bob Holden authorized a medical parole for Faye. She was later paroled to a nursing home in her hometown of Chillicothe, Missouri, where she died of natural causes at the age of 82. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Bye guys, see you next